Flosstube friends, it's time for another episode. And it is, because it's Friday. And I am Annie, Joy-Filled Stitcher, coming at you with another Flosstube Friday weekly update. This is a channel about cross stitch, just in case you did not know that by any of the title or any other thing. Because sometimes the screen grab does not give that away inherently. That is okay. And if you are tuning in, it is because you might be interested in to know what Flosstube is and what I'm all about and things of that nature. So this is Flosstube number 40. And it is Friday, February the 21st, 2020. And we are here, as I said again, for another fun-filled Friday Flosstube weekly update. Again, I am Annie. I am Joy-Filled Stitcher, both here on Flosstube, YouTube, as well as on Instagram. So if you are interested in checking me out over there, I am also Joy-Filled Stitcher over there. And that is also my email. I'm just like across all platforms, Joy-Filled Stitcher. So, what's been going on this week? I am hopeful that you have had a great stitchy week. I want to wish a welcome back to anybody who is returning for another video with me, whether it be your second video, whether it be your 40th video, or 40 plus, because I have some extras in there that don't count with the numbering system. I am trying something just a little bit different. I have pulled my chair even further out from the wall, so I am more under the overhead lighting. Our house is cold because we are back in a cold snap, and the heat may kick on in a minute, and hopefully it will not be too loud or cause any white noisy type issues. So I apologize in advance if that does in fact happen. So let's see. What's been going on this week since we chatted last Friday? Oh, sorry, one more thing. Some of you are new here. If you are new here, I know some of you have found me through Cheryl at Tranquil Stitches. Some of you found me through the Sunshine Stitchers, who are fantastic. And if you do not watch them, you must, because they crack me up every time. And the chemistry between those three, fantastic. And they're special guest stars, because, you know, sometimes one or more of them is not there. And so they have some extra fun folks. It makes me want to go down to Florida and visit. Yeah. Florida's got, you know, some pretty cool stuff, aka the Sunshine Stitchers. Also, you know, like this thing called Disney and, you know, the beaches and Miami and all of that. But predominantly the Sunshine Stitchers. For those of you that are new, a little bit about me. I am an elementary school teacher. I have one daughter. I have one husband. I have one dog. And I have a lot of whips. I have some insane number. I have some finishes, I think, to show you this week. But I'm still like in the 50-60 range. So if you're the type of person that does not like seeing a lot of various and sundry projects, I totally get that. I only show between 4 and 7 a week. I don't show them all. Now, if you want to see a movie, go watch my whip parade. And I sometimes will link things in cards. Not going to do that probably this video. I am going to try something new at the end of this video. At the end, I am going to share with you my top Nashville picks. The things that I have already pre-ordered through someone or will be pre-ordering if it gets put on one of the places that I pre-order from's site. I'm going to try to do the picture over the video because I'm going to be high tech. It could fail epically. We'll see. But I'm going to stick that all the way at the end. So those of you that are not interested in seeing anything that's coming to Nashville Market, you've already seen enough and you don't want to see any more. You don't feel like being enabled because let me just tell you, Stitch from Stash, gone for me. March, I may never dig myself out of the hole that I'm about to dig myself into. And I don't care. I'm so excited about so many of them. Now, granted, I, like last week, said, nah, nothing's really suit my fancy. Oh, no. It went from like, to like, skyrocketed this week. So I'm hopefully going to share with you towards the end some of my market picks. I know Cheryl over at Tranquil Stitches, I just saw it pop up in my You Must Watch This list. And I will be watching hers, and I feel certain there will be some things that I see in hers that might get added to my list. Now, some things, if they are not market exclusive and I'm not like, must have it now, I am adding it kind of to a wish list. And then, you know, when I'm like, hey, I don't have 47 other charts, maybe I'll order another one. So this week we're going to share, I got finishes. I have a start. I have some whips. I have some whips that fit into my challenges for Enchanted Stitching challenges. I have a tiny bit of plans, a little bit of stash, and then, like I said at the end, we're going to talk about Nashville. Yup. So, real quick, little life update. We had a long weekend. Friday was a teacher day. Monday was a holiday for everybody, so that was nice. Then my little one, she complained of an earache. She has some ongoing ear issues and has since she was little. In her bad ear. We call it her bad ear. And so Tuesday we were home from school on Tuesday. So I got a little bit of stitching here and there, but not really. And then, let's see. I'm going to chat a little bit. I'm currently hosting a Share the Love giveaway that's open for one more week. I'll share about that when I get to stash because it actually connects in with that. And then I am so excited. I haven't really chatted a whole lot about this, but I signed up long ago for this. But here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, the DFW Cross Stitchers and my local LNS, the Stitch Niche, are co-sponsoring a retreat at the beginning of April, and it's called Stitching Texas 2020. I am so excited. It will be my first retreat. It is Saturday and most of Sunday. I am actually going to go over on Friday night. I'm going to I may film Thursday that week. We'll see how that all works out. I may film on Friday at the hotel. We'll see. And so yeah, that'll be fun. And they've got, what's really cool is I got invited to be part of a YouTube panel at this retreat. And I'm sitting here thinking, what? Me? You sure? Sure you mean me? Because, like, it's being run by Garrett Coffee Stitcher. Like, he's been on YouTube for, like, a while now. Like, a while. I haven't been on a year. I'm floored every week that so many of you come back and watch me ramble. And I know that some of you are like, I love your rambling. Your word, not mine. I do ramble. I'm a talker. I spend my day with children, so I feel like I'm talking to adults, and that's kind of cool. Yeah, you're not here, but I can pretend you're here. So, anywho, I'm excited about that retreat. I do think there's some thoughts about for sure having one a year, maybe even one more in the fall. So we'll see. I would be excited for that too. And I'll have lots to share after that. There's lots of cool corporate sponsors I'm considering. Shh, it's a secret between me and all of you. I'm considering designing a chart, an exclusive chart to go into grab bags. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, that's that. All right, so what do we do first? Let's do finishes. So I have two finishes. I had finished my first of my February Whip Go pieces last week. That was my V Fairy. I have not fully finished it yet. That is on my agenda. I need to find a frame for it, and I need to get it laced and all that jazz. But I did, in fact, finish two other things. My other Whip Go piece for February, my other Whip Go call for February was Hands-On Designs Thankful and Grateful Chalk, and that has got a bag layer. And I did a modified finish on this. This lives with one other project in a Made by Mama Joan bag. This was one that she did in collaboration with That's So Kelly Co. With this cute black and white gingham. This is on 36 count. Yeah, 36 count in slate is something I found on Stitch Niche to be like the chalkboard. And I finished it. You'll notice it's significantly modified from the, do like this, so maybe it'll show up better. Significantly modified, but this is a beast to stitch on. Remind me if I ever do chalk again that I will not do it on linen chalk. Or this chalkboard type fabric. I can't do it. And I know there's like all these techniques to put things underneath. I don't enjoy stitching it. And I have come to the realization that if I don't enjoy stitching it, I'm not going to stitch on it. So I did finish it out. This is really cool because I think it's really cool. I love the orange that I used. This is a Victorian motto called Heirloom Pumpkins. And if you can tell, it has some really awesome variegation that comes out in the letters. So I'm going to do a little small finish of this of some kind. In order to mark it off on my board, I have to FFO it. So I best get on that. Same with Bee Fairy. I have to FFO it. My other finish, and this is from the Heart and Hands Square Dance series. I went ahead and worked on February and in one day finished it. And I am stitching all of these for the most part, I think, unless I run out, on this 18 count Mystic Fabrics in a palette of colors. So it's got some classic colorworks, some gentle arts, some Victorian motto. I think there may even be a Weeks Dye Works. This is in a Bags Plus a Bendy Flip Floss Buddy. It's the 12 pocket one. My January, I used Priscilla of Stitching with the Housewives conversion. February, I did my own. I did use some of the similar colors, and I think I only used 4 colors in this total. So again, this is on an 18 count Mystic Fabric. And so there is February complete. So I used Classic Colorworks Rain Shower, Classic Colorworks Ladybug, Classic Colorworks Ribbon Red, and Victorian Motto Primitive Stripes. So, and this lives in a bag that I created. There's the finish on that. And it really the lighting blows it out. But when I stitched the letters in the white first, I actually finished this in one day. And then I reassessed it on Sunday morning. I went, nope. And so I back stitched around them in the red. And I like how it turned out. So I now have January and February complete. And I will be starting March probably this week. I would like to get to the point where I am ahead each month. So we will see how that goes. So I was happy with my 2 little finishes this week. And then I did have one start. And this is actually a start that I needed to get started because it is for our retreat. Wanda Jones, who is part of our retreat group, she is going to lead a flat fold finish class. And so this is the piece they picked. I have it in a Love You More Studio Co-Pouch. It is Plum Street Samplers Bless Our Land. And I am doing DMCs for it. And the fabric that the Stitch Niche pulled for us to use is 36 count R R Vintage Beeswax. And I started the house initially over, I'm trying to figure out which way is up, which way is down. Okay, over 2 threads, over 2 threads. And it was too bulky because this R&R is really tight. I've been, some 36, most 18 I stitch with 2 strands. So I went back and pulled out the 2 strands and stitched again with 1 strand. So I have a ways to go. I have to get this done by like April 4th or something. So this is a fun little piece. I mean, I have to finish it if I want to participate in the class, which, hey, I'm all about learning how to finish things more effectively. All right, so now let's get into some whips that I worked on this week. So as I said, I participate in Enchanted Stitching Challenges. That is a group on Facebook. I do link it below each week. Oh, disclaimer, again, if you are new, you may not know this, but everybody who's returning should know. When I post this video, it will not have a whole lot of information in the description box. That's just an effort to me get it up. So check back. For the most part, I think there's only one video I did not go back and put it back in, and it was just it was a rough week. So I am in Enchanting Stitching Challenges. Oh, I forgot. I worked on this on Friday after I met with y'all. So I should show what I did. I finished up. on this. Not finished up. So this is Hands Across the Sea samplers. This is Jane Marshall 1857, and this is their chart that I think is still available, and it benefits Australian relief efforts. And I am stitching this on a piece of 32 count Mystic Fabrics. It's from a grab bag, and so I'm not exactly sure the colorway, but it's pretty close to one of the pieces that I have that was the Stitch Your Own Adventure piece. And I am doing it in a mixture of beautiful silks from Dinky Dice, Mrs. Sedas, ThreadPickerz, etc. And when I showed it last, I had started in a center, which was Jane Marshall. And then I moved up to do the first little border, and I had needed to finish that out. So I did go ahead and get the rest of that border complete. And I'm excited to put a little bit more into this and see how my colors start to play upon each other. I really like this piece. This is a fun one. And this is my first Hands Across the Sea. And what a better thing than to do it for charity. Hands Across the Sea. Charity. I'm a poet and didn't know it. My feet surely show it. They're long fellows. Alright, so now let's get into the things that I used for my Enchanted stitching tasks. So the first thing that I used this week, let me think. I don't remember what the tasks were. So, hold one moment. Oh, somebody mentioned me in their story. That's really cool. Thank you. Oh, goodness. The Stitch Niche posting previews from Nashville and its heartstrings. And I'm going to tell you, it's taken everything to not get the booklet, the limited edition booklet. Oh. So good. Okay. Sorry. We are still in the month of Frozen. Okay, so the first one is stitch on a piece that is something you would consider your life or relates to what you are doing, what you would do for a living. I said I'm a teacher at a Christian school, and one of my responsibilities is every now and again kind of coordinating Little Kid Chapel as well as like Big Buddy, Little Buddy Chapel. And I love sharing songs with the students. So I pulled out a piece that has not been out since the day it was started at the beginning of the year, which makes me really sad because now I remember how much I love this. This is greatest. This is Living in a Pouch. I stitched up on my sewing machine. And this is some Cafe Facette fabric, and I just love it. It's so cool. And this is by My Big Toe Designs. Great is Thy Faithfulness. And there's another one like this that it is well with my soul. I will stitch that one too because I love this. And when I purchased this, I was going to do it calls for 4 Gentle Arts. But every place I looked was out of all 4 of them. So I went and said, okay, what are the DMC on those or close? And I pulled 4 from my stash. And this is on a piece of 18 count Mystic Fabrics. It is a one-off. And I put some more. And there's a video way back when I was talking about starting this, where I sing Great is Thy Faithfulness. So I completed the scallops of the top border. So this is the other edge. And then I put in Morning by Morning. So, and this is Color and Cotton Chimney Sweep, which I love. Love, 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 love. And then this is Victoria Motto Blue Moon for those words. And it's this really pretty dusty rose brown. It's really not doing it very good justice. Let me see if I put something else behind it. That's a really better representation of it. It's a beautiful piece of fabric. I love stitching on her Aida. I love stitching on her linen. Oh, it's so good. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness. So I just relished you with some singing. There is usually at least one musical interlude of my video. It's just what it is. I feel as though most of the time I'm walking around in a musical of my own life. So I'll share it with you. All right, so then the second prompt. Stitch on a piece you thought you originally could not do. And so I said, I have never been able to keep up with a style that is released in small pieces. So far, I am staying caught up on the Linens and Threads Mystery Sampler 2020, and will be stitching on this piece for this task. So far, 1 complete month in, I am keeping up with it. All right, this lives in a Garon toten bags. This was the January bag of the month, which has these precious like mama and baby animals. Love it. And then the inside has pine cones and evergreen and all that jazz. This is on a 32 count. Mystic Fabrics. This is also the Stitch Your Own Adventure. This lives also in a bendy flip. And I am stitching it in a palette of 6 Gentle Arts and Weeks Dye Works, pinks, teals, and soot. And I should probably... So January is up here under the Q-snap, but I will show it to you anyway. I will show it to you. Oh my stars, this one is tight. It's a new one. Newer one. So there's January. And I have started on the February release, which is this gigantic, beautiful star motif. And so I've got this and a couple of other little small motifs and then a potted plant Quaker thing. A potted plant Quaker thing. And so my goal would be to finish this within a day of the month being over. Because I think that was what I did last time. So yeah. We'll see. We'll see if I can stick with it. Because I'm really enjoying the piece. It's just a matter of there's other things I want to stitch on too. So I actually put in 432 stitches into that one, and I put 270 into Great Is Thy Faithfulness. All right, so for number 3, stitch on something that has legs but you cannot see them in the piece. So I ended up using the February installment of Frosted Pumpkin Stitcheries Animal Almanac. So this is Remy the Fox. He is the February release. He has legs, however, you can't see them because he is sitting in a bathtub. So this lives in a bag I sewed up with some funny animals and clothes. And in here I have the called for flosses in a Floss Buddy. This is a 25 pocket. Yeah, bags plus Floss Buddy. And then this one has a really pretty owl. It also has a catty cross stitch Snippatty in the back. And I'm trucking along. This is on 18 count Mystic Fabrics and Snert. I think this is a nearly all Mystic Fabrics week, or pretty close to it. I put in 479 stitches into this, and so I have quite a significant portion done. There's still a lot more to do. So, and this is my Ollie. It's from Ollie Blocks. I was introduced to Ollie Blocks back when I was a paper planner. I still am a paper planner, but I was really into planning. Like, I had my own, like, planner sticker lines and stuff. So if you happen to be coming over here from Planner Sticker Land, you might have known about me. I was full of Grace plans. Anywho, whatever. They have the kind that clips, like, around the top of the page. Well, he recently came out with these. They're called Ollie Dots. And so they are... I'm going to show you the back of my work. Don't judge. They're small vinyl covered magnets, and they hold your needle. So, Ollie Block. And I find mine on Etsy from his shop. And he's out of California, and they ship pretty quickly. And occasionally he'll do like pre-orders of some of the new ones. So yeah. I only have, I think, 2 more things to show. Is that right? I didn't stitch on very much this week. Yes, I did. I had a start, 2 finishes that I've already shown, and some projects. So that was not it. Oh, okay. So for the 4th task, it said something that has hair. I used Bless Our Land for that because the woman in it has hair. So I used that for the task. Now, for those of you that are new, I do 2 spins of a wheel each week. I do one that is for, I have a wheel of Flossmas projects. And so I started out by saying, I spin them on Fridays, Flossmas Friday, and it is my Flossmas focus. So I have a Christmas focus that I try to get some stitches into throughout the week. Excuse me. And then I also have Barbara Anna Mondays, which I was calling BAM, and then the incredibly intelligent and wonderful and creative and wonderful, and I'm going to say wonderful one more time, Debbie at Creatively Yours, is doing a bad, B-A-D, Mania, and so she's Barbara Anna Designs, B-A-D, and so I'm calling mine Bad Mondays, and here we go, it's another musical interlude, because today I came up with like the, it's just another Barbara Anna Monday. So in a minute, I'm going to spin for those this week. However, last Friday I spun on my wheel to work on Liberty Mouse. So this was from the summer 2018 issue of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. And by the way, the spring issue comes out at the end of this month. I just renewed. I am so excited. There is 4, 1 per issue that Priscilla is designed. And the first one is absolutely adorable. And it's on the cover. And the magazine is pink gingham. Like, so cute. So stinking cute. So, head over there. And if you subscribe, I do the digital subscription. When I subscribe to a year, you get the back year, the year before. So you would get all of 2019 also. So cool. Oh, and if that was not enough, each month there is a tutorial, like a picture, fully descriptive tutorial from Vonna the Twisted Stitcher on a finishing technique. That's my plug for Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. Okay, anywho. So this is Liberty Mouse. Get it? Liberty. So they're all kind of patriotic looking. And this is on a piece of, oh, here we go. Picture this plus in fog. And he's so cute. I think he is adorable. Look how cute he is. So the mouse is done. I'm going to move into the key next. Excuse me. Spam. Spam. That happens at least one time in every video is Spam decides to call me. There's a key, and then there's like a star up above, and the cup. These are actually very quick stitches. I have Liberty Dog. I am not going to do the cat, I don't believe. And for that matter, I'm not entirely certain I'm going to do the dog. One big reason is I picked the same cut of fabric, which is much lighter than the model. The model was stitched on kind of a tan color, and I chose the lighter, this fog, and like the main dog body color is very similar. So I'm not feeling it. I really like the mouse. The mouse is by far my favorite. So just letting you know ahead of time, if it gets spun, because he's on there separately, the dog is, I may pass on it this week because I'm not feeling it. I'm not really wanting to stitch it. So each of these projects lives in a smaller little plastic bag inside a big Garonne tote bags. And then I have my own jankily made floss bobbin bag thing that like half the pockets are broken. But that has all of my flosses for the whole of all my Barbara Annas that I'm working through. So yeah, I would like to get maybe a little bit more into that mouse, maybe even possibly finish it this weekend before my Monday comes around, and I start working on a new one. All right, so this week for my Flossmas focus, I spun, this is by With Thy Needle and Thread, Bridget Gervais, Souvenirs of the Heart, Home for Christmas. I called it Home for the Holidays. It's Home for Christmas. I did fix it in my wheel. And so this is on 18 count sterling from Picture This Plus. And I'm going to put a piece of paper behind it. I had last time the roof and most of this white. I did put in some additional white, and I put in the green vine. I know that after I spin, I'm supposed to start working on my new one. However, I already have counted out the outline of the house, the first color of the house. And so I'm going to go ahead and put that in before I put it away. So you will see this again next week. And then you'll see whatever I spin next, which is just about what we're going to do right now. So, who's ready to chalk some plans? First things first, we're going to spin. So we're going to spin for our Just Another Barbara and a Monday piece. So let's get my Wheel of Fortune up. I only have 3 left to choose between. Ooh! Yikes, I was a little close there for a minute. So, the way this works is it blacked it out once I worked on it. Then, once I spin them all, it'll open back up. Boom. Come on, come on. I'm good with that. Holy Night. So it's a Christmas crossover. So we're going to work on Holy Night. Screenshot. And then let's see, what are we going to do for Flossmas? I have a lot more still available on this wheel. Let us see, let us see, let us see what we get. Pomegranate Quaker. Okay. We're going to work a little bit on that. That is an Al Forrest embroidery piece. So, yay. Awesome. All right, so what else is going to happen this week? Oh, so Sunday, this is the Sunday of the month that the Stitch Niche will be open from 1 to 4 for us to work on our Stitch Along piece, which is the May Health and Peace Attend Your Days. I am hopeful to go this Sunday. We shall see. And maybe work on it a little bit more before I go because I still only have the letters done. And I'd like to walk in with a little bit more done. But, you know, if I don't, I don't. It's okay. I have 60 whips or so. I don't know exactly how many I have right now. It's a lot. All right, so I've said so a lot. Moving on. I have my other book. So I have this is my Flosstube notes book. So this is Flosstube and Stitch. This is a little small grid paper notebook that I acquired. Artist Design, which is Amanda May. She is amazing. She is so creative. She actually hand drew the cover. I purchased this off of Amazon. I am no longer an affiliate because I did not have enough clicks or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I will link this below. It's not an affiliate link anymore. It's just a regular old Amazon link. I do love this book. I have another one that's a design book, but I don't show that one because that's got all my secret things. But this is my other one that I currently have going. This is a Rhodia soft cover. I love these. It's got really smooth, nice paper. It's a dot grid, but it's got currently my Nashville pre-order list. Yeah, it's that long. No shame. No shame in my game. All right, so does everybody know what time it is? Joy-filled stashy stash time. Joy-filled stashy stash time. All right, so first thing I want to start with is cross-stitching adjacent. So if you are aware, I keep a planner. A happy planner. This is my happy planner. So I happened to get an email at some point last week that was like, shop our rock bottom clearance priced items. And I was like, okay, I'll go see. Well, what they had, and I had seen these at the Michaels, and I could not bring myself to pay full price for them or even the price they would be with the 40% off. But when I saw they were $4.99, I went, sure, I'm getting one. So it is a Happy Planner cover. It's like a binder. I got the white with the embossed polka dots because, you know, I roll that way. And it's got a snap with a heart. And then, when you open it up, and then your Happy Planner slides, like the back cover. I'm going to try to show this without it falling out. The back cover slides in like that. And then there's a little pocket back here. Oh, my cover just came off. Okay. And then over here, there's some other pockets, slip pockets, a big pocket, and then there's a pin loop over here. And then it all closes up and stays safely and nicely inside. So when it was $4.99, I bought it. Now, as you may know or may not know if you are new, I am currently doing a Share the Love giveaway right now. Go back to my other video. I am going to share details about it here in just a minute and tell you go back to my other video to enter that one. But I already had said, because I've hit over 1,000 subscribers, that I will be doing some subscriber celebration goodies next week. If you like planners, you might want to tune in. That's all I'm going to say. All right, so next up, my Flosses from Victoria Motto. Her monthly floss club came. I get 6 of the limited edition and 6 of the primitive limited edition. So this is my limited palette, and I am obsessed with it. So quickly, bold floral and new coral reef, beautiful. This is dark chocolate, which is $9.38 approximately, and poppy, beautiful. And then we have summer juniper 502 and citrus 722. So this month, for several months, there have not been any that have DMC conversions. I just don't think I've been lucky enough to get them. But this month, I had 3 in this set. And I think this is a gorgeous palette, like just in and of itself. It might have already inspired something. Might have. Might not have. Might not be sharing that with you. I can have some secrets. And then my primitive club, I get 6 of those. And they look totally different. And again, this would make a palette for an amazing piece as well. Look at how beautiful that is. That just screams spring to me. Primitive spring. So we have Ocean Cruise and Sweetheart Roses. Those are so pretty together. And this Sweetheart Roses has beautiful variegation. Green Sampler, which actually has a conversion of 3052, and Victoriana Rose. Again, 2 colors that go swimmingly. Look at that. Look at that variegation in there. It's hard for me to show. Oh, it's so pretty. And then Dried Peas and Golden Rooster. So all together, these just sing. Sing together. So I say it every month. Nancy, you hit it out of the park. Now, I did go ahead and drop out of her fabric of the month. It is not because I don't love it. It is more because I have a lot of fabric and I need a break from it. And I have some other clubs I belong to, so I will be back because it's very reasonably priced. It's very good quality fabric and like amazing. I just have too much in that specific count of drawer. And I could have changed my count, but I didn't. Okay, so then I got a goodie bag from, and I did not undo this. So cover your ears if you don't like crinkles, because I really can't show this in the back. So I apologize in advance. I'm going to toss that back over there. Got another one. Sorry, folks. Okay. So I pre-ordered these last month, and I'm so excited that I did. If you are not familiar, Garon Tote Bags is doing a series of stitch-alongs. They began with Autumn Quakers back in the fall. Then they started Winter Quakers in December. March is Spring Quakers. I am going to participate for Summer Quakers. It's my favorite. However, they do a bag, a pre-order bag, to go along with their release. So they, a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago or so, put up a post and said who would like to purchase this bag, and they gave you the size choices and or grime guard choices, and you don't have to be participating in the stitch along in order to buy them. They made a ridiculous quantity of bags because I was like number 27, and there were like a zillion comments behind me. Ronnie is a genius and an incredible craftsman. So anyway, enough chitty chat. This is the spring bag. Now, okay, Stitch Room Stash told me you don't need this, but why wouldn't I? Look at how beautiful this is. I'm gonna fold it in half so you can just see. It's this beautiful, realistic floral with these incredible hummingbirds on it, and just these super bright pop of colors. And the inside is like the monochrome of the same florals, which I think is just genius. So I purchased the 12 by 13 bag, and I know people that purchase like more than one of these bags. Go you. I don't need more than that. I have enough. I have a bajillion bags, and I'm gonna keep buying. And then I purchased an 11 by 11 grime guard that matches. I love how wide the grime guards are. And so I already know this is going, at the end of this month. I've mentioned on a previous video that I am starting, along with Aaron 2 Martini Stitcher, I am starting hashtag Long Dog Leap Day Sal, and I am starting Seeking Solace, which is from the 2017 collection. And so that's coming up, actually. Is that next week? That is next week. At the end of next week. I am starting that piece. It will live in that with that grime guard. I'm super excited about that. All right. Moving on. I am also going to be starting sometime, I think in April maybe. I haven't quite decided. A Barbara Anna piece called All Creatures Great and Small. And it's got all these precious animals all over. It's a pretty big piece. But it says, all creatures great and small, the Lord God has made them all. I mean, I love that saying. I'm actually going to do it for my mom to put in my daughter's room at her house. And I was needing a piece of fabric. I didn't have anything in stash. I really did look. I am stitching it in the DMC, which I had all of that. And so I was on Stash Unload one day, and I have seen these fabrics. The person that posts them is Oksana, and she has beautiful fabrics. Well, she happened to have a piece of Aida, which I am obsessed with, that is going to be perfect for this piece. And it's an 18 count, and so I went ahead and grabbed that. Isn't that beautiful? Just a super awesome, beautiful neutral. Super fast shipping. Reasonable prices. Her U.S. shipping is included in the price. So there's no like shock when you get your invoice and it's like, whoa, shipping's like $27. Okay, I've never had that happen. I'm majorly exaggerating, but like, you know, anyway. And then she had a lot of these two Aidas. Steal of a deal. They're both 14.5 by 21. So I've kind of beefing up my primitive, my more prim fabrics, my more neutral fabrics. But I think this one's beautiful. It's like got some blues and gray tones in it. And then this one is similar to the one that I just showed you, but just a smaller cut. So I'm going to add those to my collection. And then this one is going to go in for that piece. Now also, I've lost my mind. Karina at Bags Plus posted on her Facebook group, which I do link below. I also think I have a link to her Etsy shop maybe below, usually in my things I love, because I try to put my project bags, who my project bags are, who my floss organizer things are, but I don't put a link with each project. I put them down at the bottom. So if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, it's something under products I love. So you'll find a link to the Garon page. You'll find a link to the Bags Plus page and or Etsy. I'm not sure which one I put. Anywho, she posted on her group, about a new style she was creating. And I was like, well, since I'm doing the DMC for the All Creatures Great and Small, I want to bobbinate them. I know I'm crazy, but once I start to pull out like a couple of links, it gets real floppy and then you lose the little paper things. I just bobbinate them to start out with. And it's a floss wallet. So she only had like 3 patterns, but she had this super cute hedgehog fabric. And so I messaged her on and you can do this on Etsy. I messaged her on this fabric. It was a different style. And I said, hey, do you have any of this fabric to do in the wallet style? And she said, I think so. Let me look. And then she got back to me, created a custom listing. I bought it and was here in like a week and a half from England. So it has this super cute hedgehog. And then when you open it up, and this comes in either a 12 or a 24. I got the 24 pocket. It has half of them on this side and half of them on this side. And they're triple stacked. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, if you got the 12, it would only have, I think, let me do my math here. I'm not sure how it would work. But anyway, I think it's 24. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. It would have half the number of rows. Like you'd be missing 1, 2, and 3. They'd be more spread out. Anyway, this will be enough to hold the flosses for that project. And then it compactly ties up. Super cute. So go check them out if you would like some cute, super cute floss storage and you like bobbinating. Although they will hold the fancy flosses, as you could see in some of my other projects. All right. Now, connected to this is what I'm giving away in my Share the Love. If you go back to video number 39, which is my golden Flosstube video, because I'm 39 and it's my 39th video, I said I'm giving this away. Technically, I'm shipping it to you, but it is now being given away by Garon Toten Bags. And here's why. I got a message over the weekend on my Facebook Messenger. Hey, I'm sending you a package. Here's your tracking number. And I went, okay. Now, granted, I did buy a bag on Saturday. And so I'm going to show that in a minute, because this is a bag-filled episode. Long story short, the reason why I was giving this bag away is that I don't need any more of the 12 by 18 bags, the bigger bags. And my bag of the month is supposed to be the 12 by 13. It's actually what I paid for February. But by accident, he sent me the big bag. And so I'm like, I don't really need it. It was a perfect option to give it away, share it with somebody who maybe doesn't have the means to purchase it or loves the bags and can never get their hands on one. Well, so when I opened my bag today and I messaged those gentlemen back and said, oh my word, totally unnecessary, super appreciative, like how incredible. They said, well, now just make that bag from us because you have your own. So I have my 12 by 13 love bag. Love bag. Mind you, they smell so good. I'm going to stuff it with fiberfill and just use it as a pillow. Anywho, so I have mine. And Gary and Ron are wanting me to send you this one. So if you're interested in entering this, you got one more week. I will pick a name. All the details on how to enter that are in my previous video. I'm not going to repeat them here because I want you to go back over there because I don't want comments here because then that makes it not fair and hard and me. Anyway. All right, so I did grab a bag. I wasn't even going to look. I was not even going to look. And this is this one and I had to buy it. Okay. Ah, it's so cute. It's got like postage stamps from all the different states. And mind you, I got Texas like right here, front and center. Front and center. And I love like Rhode Island red and New York. So I don't know exactly what's going in here yet. I have an idea, but it's just not in there yet. And then the inside is the, like the metering stamps. So, super beautiful bag. It's a 12 by 13. Love it. Love it. I whacked myself in the face with it. All right, so here's the story. I'm going to go ahead and stop this clip, and then in a minute I'm going to be back, and my setup's going to be moved this way slightly so we can talk Market 2020. So, if you have no interest in seeing what my picks are for Market 2020, I will bid you farewell until next Friday. I hope you have a wonderful stitchy week. And just continue to spread that joy everywhere through your stitching, through just your positive energy. Thank you for sharing that with me. It brings me so much joy. And with that, I'm going to bid you farewell until the next segment. Now, if you're hanging in there with me, we're going to cross our fingers that I can be tech savvy enough to add the pictures in over here. So I'll be right back. All right, so we are back. I'm going to share with you my Market 2020 picks. And so as you can see, I have scooched myself the tripod over. So you can see my beautiful khaki walls. We call them bagel. And here's why we call them bagel. At my school, I got a new classroom this year. They changed the book room into my classroom. And they wanted to paint my walls virtually this color. And the name of the paint was bagel. And I said, please don't paint my room bagel. Please don't paint my room bagel. I like cool tones. Like, I'm surrounded by bagel at home. And so they ended up painting it a really pretty cool, like, blue turned gray. It's called On the Rocks. Anywho. All right, so here's how this is going to work. I have been claiming some items a couple of different places, trying to spread the wealth, so to speak. Mystic Fabrics, which is who is my fabric dealer, does pre-order albums. Some of hers are still open, some are not, because she chooses to place orders and be able to literally walk in and pick them up and then see what else is new and not try to scrabble and count charts and things like that. She tries to do that with as many companies as she can. So in theory, a lot of things are starting to close. Like I think she said, some of the stuff's closing tomorrow, some's already closed, and so forth and so on. Up until Market, which is on March 6th. I am also placing some pre-orders through my local LNS, the Stitch Niche, because they have a market day, which is super fun, and everybody comes in and they've pulled. So basically, they'll post albums of stuff, and you me please it, and then they will pull it back for you. And on market day or within the next week or so after that, you go in and they'll give you your bag. But then they'll have a lot of other things as well. So there are some things I'm purposefully not purchasing right now. There are some things have kind of gone into my mental wish list or onto my wish list sheet. There are some things that I am for sure purchasing from one or the two people. I actually was, there's a chart that I love. It's by Hands On Designs. It's called Well Rounded. I will put it right here. And I love it, but I am nowhere near ready to stitch it. I actually had considered claiming it. I think I maybe even claimed it with Misty, and then I decided I needed to pass on it. But it's these really cute circle. You're going to see it. But there is a person I follow on Instagram, Stitcher Mel is her name. And she had posted on the Hands On Design post that she had purchased it fully, like floss, fabric, pre-ordered it all. A finishing kit with the laser cut circles and the twill tape and all of that, had purchased it somewhere. And I like commented on her, where? So she, her local LNS, I believe, I'm not 100% certain if it's local to her, but I went and perused it. But it's Needlecraft Corner. And they're offering a lot of the new market releases with the fabric, the floss, the finishing items, things of that nature. So I will link them below, Needlecraft Corner. And so that's an option if you are interested in purchasing like the whole gamut. I have a lot of fancy floss, so most things I'm not buying the floss, or I'm going to wait until I'm ready to stitch it to buy the floss and see what's in my stash. So let's get started. What have I claimed? Well, I have claimed from Mystic Fabrics one chart by the Blue Flower / Bendy Stitchy Designs. It is their collaboration Friendship Sampler, pictured here. I absolutely adore this piece. I love that it represents both of these fabulous ladies of our community. Can I just say, like, anything riding a large animal is so cute. Pink sprinkled donuts. I mean, I think it has a squirrel. I probably should have a picture up of it in front of me so I can see it. There's not much I don't love about this piece. Now, I have seen it finished in two ways. One is a full sampler, which is how I've shown it. The other being as two drums. So the verdict is out. The jury is out. Either way. on which way I would choose to finish it, but I am going to go ahead and purchase it. I am also purchasing the Market 2020 cookbook from her. She's already put those orders in long ago. I know that it's got charts in it. I think it's a great deal for $8. It's got some great recipes, so I went ahead and added that. Seems to be a pretty big hit from her group, at least. The chatter about this chart has been pretty big. And so here's a picture of it. It is by Tiny Modernist, and it is Unicorn Tapestry. Again, very little that I don't like about this chart. My daughter is obsessed with unicorns. She already has 2 stitched pieces with unicorns from me. I will likely be stitching this and it be appearing somewhere in our house in one of her areas. So this was a for sure purchase for me. This was another for sure purchase. This is a Yarn Tree exclusive. It is another Tiny Modernist right here. This is Folk Art Girl. I'm calling it Folk Art Girl. I think it's just folk art, and I'm obsessed with her pigtails. She reminds me of Pippi Longstocking. I am thinking of converting the color of her hair to a red color to make her Pippi Longstockings. So this was another must-have. My next one is one by Hands On Designs. This is my Stitcher's Heart, and I love this. I love that when Kathy did the sneak peek, she had just the little tassel just down in the corner. It's the scissor fob, but she's like, where do you start counting octopi legs? Because the way it was zoomed in, it looked like an octopus. But anyway, super cute. Loved her reveal of her projects. I love this piece. Very excited to stitch this at some point in time, and knew it had to be one of mine. So the next piece that I am acquiring from Mystic Fabrics is by Summerhouse Stitchworks, featured here, and it is their Liberty Hill drum set. I am also purchasing the Sulky pack, the Sulky thread pack that goes along with it. She is doing the order for that as well. I have 2 ink circle charts. Tracy hit it out of the park this year. There's some that are not personally my style, but are still incredibly amazing. There's dragons. There's skull and crossbone with flowers. There is Little Red Ship of Life. I don't think that's exactly what it's called, but it's basically Big Red Ship of Life on a smaller scale. That is not right. That is not Tracy. I'm going to shut my mouth now. Just take that back. That's a long dog, I believe. Anyway, I have 2. Is that right? 2. Yes. The first one is the one that is actually on, I believe, the cover of the needlework. It's basically like the one that needlework shops get, like as a magazine of like, hey, what's coming? It's on the cover, and it's called All the Roses. And it is charted in Classic Colorworks, some of which I think I already have. The ones I don't, when I get ready to stitch it, I will stitch this one as called for and on a fabric as close to what is called for. The next one that I picked is also in ink circles, featured here. This is Blueprint City, and again, another chart that there's not much I don't like about it. This is stitched in 2 colors of Gloriana in the navy, you need 2 skeins, and Gloriana Aida's Rainbow, you need 1 skein. I went ahead and pre-ordered those through Misty at Mystic Fabrics. And then the last one that I am getting from Misty at this point, because there's nothing else posted that I'm like must have, is another Tiny Modernist. This was a kind of a last minute edition when I was going through and looking, and I saw a snippet of it and I went, well, which chart is that? And then when I went back and looked, I went, how did I not see that? And so this is called Love Builds a Happy Home. And I just love the little bluebirds and the little house and the lettering and just how graphic and a pop of color it is. Love it. Love everything about it. All right, so I have also spread the wealth to the Stitch Niche. So the things that I have for sure told them get for me, because I will buy them, are another Bendy Stitchy Designs. This featured right here. This is Hildy's Strawberry. And I like her Hildy series, but this one I love because it's a tiny rider. It's Hildy riding a big giant ladybug. And there is a part of me that is considering recharting her. As far as I know, Michelle does not have a problem with that because she does it a lot herself. So if she does, I'm sorry, but I may do a conversion on her skin and hair. We shall see. Another blue flower that I'm getting is Huckleberry. And I love this. I love this. I don't know that I will stitch it in its entirety. I likely will, because there's very little about this I don't love, except just the size. It makes me a little nervous. I am but there's so many smaller scenes and motifs that it lends itself well to picking bits and pieces and stitching them as smalls. Or you can do one large piece. I have a Teresa Kogut on my list, and this is one that I believe she sneaked on her Instagram way back before Christmas. And she was like, "Does anybody would want me to rechart this?" And it was a snippet of a sampler. I think this is what it was. It doesn't matter. I love it, and I had to have it. I have to have it. And it is called Heaven and Nature, and so I love it. That's one of my favorite Christmas songs, Christmas hymns, is heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, joy to the world. Okay, sorry. So I did add that one to my please pull for me pile. I have 2 with Thy Needle and Thread. I really restrained myself because I love them all. They're all amazing. I did end up claiming 2. The first one is with Thy Needle and Thread. These are designed by Brenda Gervais, and it is the Salt Box Quilt Sampler. Let me tell you one of the things that I love about this. My last name starts with a V. My daughter's name starts with a V. My maiden name started with a C. I don't know what it is, but when you look at alphabets in samplers, sometimes the last letters are kind of shoved in a corner. They don't get their proper billing. And on this one, they get like full glory right in under that gorgeous house, and it's giant. I love that the V is huge. And so to me, I was like, I have to have it, because Brenda is speaking to me. She's saying, this is for you and your sad end of the alphabet letter. And I said, okay, I must have it. And then the other one that I am getting, it's part of a series. I already have the other 2. I'm stitching one, and you saw it in this video, which is Home for Christmas. Ugh, Home for Christmas. There's Autumn in Amana, and this is Seasons of Love. It's part of that same, well, this is Seasons of Love. That's Souvenirs of the Heart. So maybe it's not quite the same series. I don't know. But it's called Star Spangled Spectacular. And so I went ahead and snagged that one. Now I will tell you, her Insta stories and her Insta little pictures and stuff of how she displayed her items, genius. Absolute genius. So if you are not following Brenda Gervais on Instagram, please do, because she had some really cool ways that she showed her things. Now, today, I have already watched a market sneak peek from literally one of my most favorite designers, and I did not know what she was going to have. And I thought, okay, I'm good. I'm good. I've spent enough money. And then I watched her video of her and her equally talented daughter. And if you don't know who I'm speaking of, it's Kathy Barrick and Liz Matthews of Hello, Liz Matthews. Or Hello from Liz Matthews. So, in their video, I wrote down 4 more things. two each, that I'm going to be on the lookout for. So, I am hopeful that maybe Stitch Knitch will post them at some point, and I can claim them there. Because I feel like I need to throw them some more money, because I want to keep them in business so they're close to me. So I'm going to show you them. I did take screen grabs from their video or their Instagram, if it was on their Instagram. So from Kathy Barrick, I have already finished HL's Moth, so I will be stitching BR's Moth to go along with it. This thing is insanely gorgeous. Insanely gorgeous. And if you have not watched the video, please go, because she shows what the inspiration is, and it is not a reproduction sampler. It is actually like a mounted moth. It's incredibly amazing. And then the second one is Visit from Spot. There's a polka dotted horse. And a precious border. I mean, that border, oh, so good. That's on my list. And then from Hello from Liz Matthews, or Hello Liz Matthews, I'm not sure. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. There were 2 that spoke to me, but there were a bunch of hers. I mean, I could have had every single one of them. But the 2 specifically I am after immediately are Fractor Bees. So good. So good. And Carnation Sampler. It's got cardinals. It's got carnations. It's amazing. The other one that was kind of speaking to me, and I will put it here, is Yonder. And I could see Cheryl stitching this, Yonder. She loves Yonder. In fact, I think in her Pick My Mania start, she had one that was called Yonder. So, Cheryl, you need to get this one if you haven't seen it yet. You need Yonder. So I'm considering that one as well. It's on my short list. My short list. Anyway, I'm excited to see. This is kind of okay. So I came back to stitching like whole hog last January. However, I didn't really know that there was such a thing as market until market. And I didn't know about following all of the hashtags. And I didn't know about like the people who'd be posting videos from there. And I'm like, oh. So I'm kind of excited to see it like more so now from a different perspective. From a much more involved perspective. So, with that being said, I think we're done for today. I think we're done. I'm over an hour, I think. That's just pretty standard fare, which most of you seem okay with. Some of you don't, and I apologize, but it is what it is. That is what it is. All right, I think we're done. I'm gonna go have me some dinner, watch me some Flosstube. I think I'm gonna go finish watching Cheryl and her market picks. I'm not gonna probably keep pen and paper by me because I don't need anything else on my list. And as I said, Stitch from Stash, we're not even gonna talk about it. For right now, we're not. Because I don't have this stuff. I haven't expended any money yet. Except that I did have the bag and the fabric and the planner cover. And then there's the 1, 2, 3 stitch order that's coming. And some eBay stuff. Okay, I'm just stop while I'm ahead. I'm really not ahead. I'm still in the hole. Even with my finishes, I'm still in the hole because they're small. So anyway, I'm going to give it my old college try. I'm still doing far better than last year. That's really all that matters. I just needed to be better. I needed to rein it in a little bit. And I think market's going to satiate me, hopefully. I have to have some money left after market purchases because retreat. I have to pay for a hotel. Anyway, with that being said, I think I'm going to sign off for tonight. I will see you next Friday when it is not the last day of February, but pretty dang close. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I will have continued to stay caught up on my stitch-along pieces. And hopefully, until next week, please find things that make you joyful in your heart, in your stitching, in your lives. And I'll see you then. Bye, friends.